its advantage, BJP and the NDA. If the exit poll numbers are anything to go by, it looks like Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be back as the Prime Minister of the country. We'll get the parties and their voices as well. Sunil Deodhar, National Secretary of the BJP. Salman Soz, spokesperson of the Congress, now join us. Sunil, I'll start with you. What have you made of the numbers from the exit polls? Most, at least all polls seem to suggest that the NDA is going to be back at the centre. Sunil.
Yes, definitely. I can see all the results, or the exit poll results on screen, but I can only say that they are showing only the line that or the stream where the overall trends are going. Practically, I disagree with all of these exit polls. I claim that BJP is going to form government on its own. We will cross 300 mark. And NDA will touch 375. I am very much confident about that. These exit polls are only showing us the direction where the country's mood is.
Salman, going by the trend line of these exit polls and not necessarily some of the absolute numbers, the fact that over the last 2-3 years you've been able to give the BJP a much stronger head-on fight than this trend line suggests right now in specific state polls. What has been the gap between the two? I'm again not going to absolute numbers, but the trend line here continues to show a significant gap that is almost as wide as 2014.
You know, I don't really know why there is such a disparity. I mean, obviously we did very well recently when we beat the BJP in 3 states, and right now the trend is reversed. So I don't really know what's going on now. You know, exit polls also have a degree of a kind of a mixed record in India. So one has to take some of this with a little bit of a teaspoonful of salt. But one observation that I will make after reviewing some of the exit poll data, which I mean I don't have all of it in front of me, I noticed that in certain states, we had widely divergent views on what the results were going to be. Even though the same polls, these different polls would say that at the top end, at the aggregate level, they were trending in the same direction. So at the aggregate level, they were saying that NDA was going to do well. But internally in the different states, which basically, they are then aggregated, they had divergent views of what the results were going to be. So I'm a little more skeptical about the polls. I personally think that no matter what happens, I think the BJP is going to lose a substantial number of seats, and I think even if they form the government, it has to be with allies. Now the question is, would it be with just the NDA allies, or would it be with even more allies needed? We'll have to wait and see. But I really don't think that they're going to be in government on their own, and I think there's going to be a degree of instability in the next government.
Sunil, 2 questions. One on West Bengal and the way the projections that they're going to do extremely well in West Bengal and in the state of Orissa. These 2 states were pitched as the swing factors, that they were going to be deciding who is going to form the government in Delhi. Whatever numbers that you've seen, both in West Bengal and in Orissa, does that give you confidence that the BJP is doing relatively better on the ground?
See, in 2014 parliament elections, Uttar Pradesh was a shocker to this nation. Nobody could imagine that BJP will win 73 seats out of 80 along with its alliance partner. I am claiming, and I am quite confident, that this time, 2019 parliament elections, West Bengal will be a shocker. Next thing, when people ask me that you are going to lose some seats in Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh, and do you believe that these seats which you are going to lose in other states, you are going to cover up these seats from West Bengal? So I said no. I say that Bengal will be bonus. We are not going to lose our seats in the states where 2014 we were victorious, but Orissa and West Bengal will be bonus for us. I campaigned for West Bengal in last phase of elections. I was there for 25 days for the last phase, and I could visualize the strong BJP wave it was definitely anti-Mamta Banerjee and pro-Narendra Modi ji wave in West Bengal. And so I am confident that BJP is going to touch 25 number in West Bengal, and definitely we are going to get more seats in Orissa, maybe up to 12 we will get seats in Orissa. But in West Bengal, whatever exit poll numbers I have seen, they are giving only 11 or 15 numbers. There is a point, because of the atmosphere of terror in West Bengal, the people are very much afraid of telling to which party they have voted for. After coming out from voting, they are not ready to tell that they have voted for BJP. For security reasons, they will say that yes, we have voted for Trinamool Congress party, because they are afraid of the violence, post-poll violence, post-result violence. And that is why we cannot get absolute figure.
Sunil, I just wanted
Yes.
to take this. I just want to take this West Bengal point with you a little further, and your own role in it and in the messaging. You were a large part of the way Tripura was flipped for the BJP last year, and now you've been a part of being in charge of the last phase of these elections. I want to get a sense from you. What is the pitch to the voter earlier in Tripura and now in West Bengal? Whatever the vote share you land up with is telling the voter go from left to right. And you're taking in both states the voter that is moving from the left front towards you. How do you make the voter move from left to right?
See, for that we will have to understand what is the left rule. Left rule in any state, whether it is West Bengal or Tripura, they only give speeches about poverty, they call about Sarvahara, and they say that we are a party of poor people. 20 years long Manik Sarkar's government, the speech of Chief Minister Manik Sarkar did not change. He used to say that we are downtrodden, we are poor people, I am poor, my Tripura is poor. Every election his speech was, I am poor, my Tripura is poor. And people were really fed up of this speech that we are poor, and from their point of view, earning money is something, committing blunder, or it is something wrong, and they used to oppose capitalism, or whatever they did sitting in the government only supported mafias. They floated some cheat fund companies, and right from a poorest poor person who is depending on Manrega scheme, even he could not get his 100 rupees or 75 rupees per day unless and until he will have to give commission to CPM party 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 20 rupees. Same thing happened in West Bengal for 34 years. Same thing happened in Tripura for 25 years.
Okay.
So people were very much annoyed with this commission Raj, Gunda Raj, syndicate Raj.
Okay.
We fought with CPM in Tripura, we got victorious, and 1 year of BJP government. Now absolutely no Gunda Raj in Tripura. But when 2011 Mamta Banerjee outrooted this CPM from West Bengal, she claimed that it is second Independence Day. But literally there is no change in the situation of West Bengal for last 8 years.
Okay. Point taken,
Whatever
Sunil.
crime and whatever
point about how
they call
the momentum is clearly with the BJP in both in West Bengal. Salman Soz, I want to focus on the two areas where the Congress seems to have retained its control. One is Kerala, where it looks like it's doing well. Punjab, where Captain Amrinder Singh seems to have sort of done well again. But walk me through what do you think has worked in these two states, and talk about Delhi, and perhaps your alliance, not doing an alliance with AAP, is costing you.
You know, that the original speculation about Delhi used to be that the BJP is now going to have an easy 7-0 sweep in Delhi. That was after the alliance could not take shape. But I am in Delhi, and I've seen the campaigning on the ground, and I can tell you that in all of these 7 seats, Congress was fighting hard. And I think I don't really believe the BJP is going to win all 7 seats in Delhi. It doesn't seem like that. So I'd be shocked if the BJP won all 7 seats. The other interesting thing about Delhi is that we're going to have assembly elections here very soon. And I think the Congress party is poised very well now, especially because the AAP vote seems to have declined. I think to go on for a head-on fight with the BJP, I think this is going to be a very dramatically different election when the assembly elections come up in Delhi. So, again, yes, we have exit polls, but mind you, exit polls have a very mixed record in India. Some exit polls are predicting 230 or 240 seats for the NDA, while other exit polls are predicting 340 seats for the NDA. My sense is that this could potentially go just one way. I don't really know which way, but if you look at the economy and how the economy's been going over the last 5 years, I would say then the BJP would not be at the majority mark. Even the NDA may not be at the majority mark. Then I would tend to agree with those polls that are at the lower end for the NDA.
What you're seeing on your screen is the poll of polls, the headline number. If you can bring that back, the NDA at about 286. 288, the UPA at 120, and the others at 134. This is the headline number that you're seeing. This is the poll of all exit polls at the center.
Salman, I'm just going to extend that to what Harsha asked about Punjab, right? The fact that you have a government in Rajasthan that's 6 months old, a government in Madhya Pradesh that's 6 months old. Traditionally, you've had honeymoon periods for government that has helped voters being retained by the party that's just taken power. There is no trend line in any of the exit polls that suggests that you've been able to carry through any of that momentum 6 months down. How much of an interruption were the events of Feb in Kashmir and what followed with the surgical strike in Balakot? What would you say to explain why Mr. Kamal Nath or Mr. Gehlot have not been able to bring you anything close to a lion's share of the vote share in those two states that they now run?
I don't really have an answer for that. The reason is obviously because the results are not out, so this could just be totally wrong, and I could give you any answer and then say, okay, oh, you know what, this is, so I could be totally out of line. What I would suggest is the following. After the Pulwama, attack, then the Balakot strike and all this, perhaps the Modi government, which was, by the way, before Pulwama, flailing on economic issues, perhaps felt that that was one angle to seize on, and maybe Rajasthan being a border state, that had an impact. Who knows? I mean, we'll have to see. I think these are the kinds of things you see after the election. I would not rule it out. There is a possibility. But then, having such a lopsided election in both of these states, that would worry me. And I would have to kind of understand why that would happen. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure that happened, because in Madhya Pradesh, especially, we were expected to do much better than what the polls are suggesting. So, the numbers that had been kind of, that we were looking at are very different from the numbers that have come out in the polls. That's not just true of Madhya Pradesh, it's true of other states too. Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra. In Maharashtra and Vidarbha, I mean, the BJP should be doing very badly, because there's a lot of rural distress in that area. But still, BJP and Shiv Sena seem to be doing really well. In Bihar, by the way, some polls are giving the NDA 40 out of 40 seats. How that is possible, I'm not really sure.
Okay. Sunil, just a word about the south of India as well. You see, the BJP seems to be doing exceedingly well in Karnataka, where it's clearly sort of gained share. But in Tamil Nadu, it looks like the partnership with the ADMK isn't quite working. Sunil?
Yes.
No, I was asking you, the partnership in Tamil Nadu doesn't seem to be giving you dividends, the partnership with the ADMK, while in Karnataka you seem to have gained share.
See, in the Karnataka, what I feel is the alliance, which was very unnatural alliance they made to keep BJP out of power, where BJP had got the majority. I agree that it was not absolute majority, but we were single largest party. And this unnatural alliance, those who fought for a long time against each other and for just gaining power, suddenly they came together and formed government. It went totally negative for them. And the way they functioned for last 6 months, the people are not happy with that government. And that is why many times there were comments from Congress against JDS, from JDS against Congress, and their infightings. They came very clearly, they came out. And that is why people are very much annoyed with that government also. And similarly, we must understand one thing. This election is surprisingly the very first election after independence, which is pro-incumbency wave is observed. People wanted Modi to come back to power as Prime Minister. Why did we lose Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and other states? Because there can be some anti-incumbency towards our governments in those states. But there was nothing against Modi in those states, and that is why if you can see the exit poll pattern, then all these three states BJP is gaining and gaining heavily. Even in Gujarat there is pro-incumbency where our party is ruling in the state and our party is at the center. In Maharashtra also same case. And in Karnataka where we are not in ruling and we had our majority but not clear majority, even then people are not disagreeing with the state government, and they love Modi, they want Modi as a Prime Minister. In Tamil Nadu, definitely we are very weak, we are very weak as an organization, but we have our alliance with AIADMK. I don't know what are the, even I have not seen the exit poll results of Tamil Nadu, but whatever seats we have contested, I am quite confident that 1 or 2 seats we are going to win, BJP on its own. And about AIADMK and DMK, we'll have to observe the actual results.
Salman Soz, a couple of comments on your home state. One, the fact that vote share has been abysmally low. What that says about the fear of disconnect between voters, citizens, and the electoral process in a democracy. One, and two, on what you see, is there still a Peer Panchal divide where south of that you'll have the BJP doing well, and then the other 3 seats you'll have being divided up between the National Conference, the Congress and the PDP?
You know, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but I can't really hear you clearly. Can you just repeat the question, but maybe just slowly, because I can't.
Sure. I'll just go a bit slower. I wanted your comment on the voter turnout we've had in Jammu and Kashmir in this cycle, the fact that the Election Commission deemed that assembly elections could not be held, whatever input they might have gone from the Home Ministry at that point of time, which we are not privy to right now. What that says about the electoral process and the connect of the people and how connected and involved they feel in the electoral process right now, and concerns, if any, you have about how low that turnout has been.
Well, you know, the BJP spokesperson talked about an unholy alliance, as he called it, between the Congress and the JDS in Karnataka. The real unholy alliance was between the BJP and the PDP in Jammu and Kashmir, and the coming together of these two political parties with extremely divergent views has really damaged Jammu and Kashmir and has really worsened the situation in Kashmir to actually have voter turnout decrease in the seats in Kashmir seats. That is a story in itself. You know, I remember in 2011, I think we had panchayat elections in J&K, and the voter turnout was tremendous, even in Kashmir. And now we're in a situation, we have deep alienation among youngsters. We have basically an extremely low voter turnout. You have a Lok Sabha seat for the first time in independent India's history. You have a Lok Sabha seat that goes to polls in 3 phases, the seat of Anantnag. You know, I think that is total kind of the responsibility obviously lies with the BJP and the PDP, especially with the central government headed by Mr. Modi. They've tried to use Kashmir for political benefit in the rest of the country. I always say that the BJP always places party interest above the national interest, especially in Kashmir. So that's what's happened, and I think it's Kashmir has regressed. There's going to be a lot of effort needed to bring it back, to repair and heal, heal or repair the damage done there. But it's going to be a long-term process.
Salman Soz, Sunil Deodhar, many thanks indeed for joining us with your perspective. That's the view from the BJP and the Congress. The exit polls clearly directionally indicating the return of Prime Minister Modi as the Prime Minister of this country, an advantage for the BJP and the NDA. We'll of course continue coverage. We'll wait for the 23rd of May. Again, as we've been saying, caveat that these are just
the real numbers come in 8 a.m. onwards on Thursday the 23rd of May. And remember, some of those numbers this time will come in at a pace perhaps slightly slower than you've been used to in the last few Lok Sabha election cycles because of the VVPAT counting that will happen parallel to the EVMs. So Thursday morning is when you'll get the actual numbers. You're seeing a trend line right now that seems to suggest that the NDA and its performance is likely to be on the front foot.
Thanks for watching.